is inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault, and that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte.
Coming up, we've got an ultra-important divisional round matchup in the NFC, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Carolina Panthers.
Chris Boswell set to kick off.
One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Down, slide through, block 40, ready?
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
This is caught by McMillan. Down the sideline he goes.
Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. 65 yards.
And the Panthers are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Chad Ryland now to have the PAT.
And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead.
Panthers 7, Vikings nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
At their own 35-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
Throwing is McCarthy.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Here's 2nd and 10. To the air with McCarthy. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
A gain of 31 yards. And the Vikings first down.
Up the middle they go. Palmer. And he stopped immediately there.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Palmer. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
Now McCarthy.
And that will be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10, just missed that one.
Chris Boswell on for the field goal. A 48-yard attempt.
Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
First and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Yeah, he was able to shed one tackle, but could not get away from there. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. He comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week. And got his man complete. Touchdown. A great effort there. 43 yards. And the Panthers are able to add on to that lead. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found it downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch, take it to the house.
First and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title battle. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Just 3 catches in the wild card victory for him a week ago, and now he's got his first here, and it's good for a first down. Now a handoff up the middle. Palmer. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at him, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Here's a 2nd and 8. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw McCarthy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Just 1 catch for him last week in the wild card win, but getting involved early here and picks up the first.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
And this all incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Here's McCarthy. That is caught. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 12-yard line. No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first quarter grab here.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Let's go now. Red, 38. Hut.
On first down, it's Palmer. A gain of 3, second down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds.
They'll run here with a rookie.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. After one, a 14-3 ball game. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Vikings have cut it back within a score.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game.
Vikings 10. Chris Boswell set to kick off.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
He did a good job keeping his focus downfield as he rolled out of the pocket, trying to fit a pass in. But that defender nearby made sure that one didn't result in a first down.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, The alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Seal, black. Down. 6, black. 95. Blaster, 6. Set.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
He'll get this complete to the running back, Hubbard.
And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. 35 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary, or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they're going to continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Now the play clock hits 0 here, and we're going to get a delay.
Ryland on for the extra point.
It's good, and it's 21-10.
Makes the score Panthers 21, Vikings 10.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Jefferson going to go in motion right. Working out of the gun is McCarthy.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Second and 10.
Looking to throw. McCarthy. And that is incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
This one brought in by Jefferson. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position.
Drill green. Here we go. Set. 45. Green jack. Black shot. Hut.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Set. Black 40. Mike, white, claws red. Ready.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. Oh, it's incomplete. Oh, it would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll look to throw again. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
On the double.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Now it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. McCarthy. And his throw is incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. McCarthy. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Now inside the 25. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take the victory.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Let's go. Slide through. Red. Cycle. Set.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Panthers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Ryland, up and good.
And a rout is on here in this first half.
Vikings 10.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away.
And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily to look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And they'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
First down, Minnesota.
Ready up. Here we go. Steel. Black. 52 blue. Ready.
They'll look to throw now on first down.
That was going to step up and run.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Ready?
Up the middle they go. Palmer. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Ready.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Right. White. 45.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. From 17 yards out.
And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone.
First Boswell set to kick off.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30.
Ready.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down.
The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it? The slot receivers. But only guys can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there. Showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. That is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Ready?
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll find the open man. That's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined it.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. Second time in this first half now, Charles, that he's coughed up the football.
And both times, I think, they were in spots where he's got to think about covering up the ball. He's got to revert to his fundamentals in those practice drills where they carry it through traffic. He's not out in the open field where he can swing it a little bit, cover it up, and take care of it.
95. Ready.
Back to throw now on first down. They'll find McMillan here. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Ready.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
Go now. Set. Go.
They'll set up a throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he's got a touchdown, Panthers. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Panthers are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Now Ryland for the PAT.